It's Sunday morning, and my makeshift winter camping kit seemed to do the job. I was warm last night. First order of business today is to dry everything out and eat. I didn't eat last night. I got down here at about 11 o'clock. Yeah, it took me 4 hours to get over the pass. It's just, and it's not even. It wasn't even really the pass. It's the snow and those sun cups. It's just anyway. I've got waders with me, so I'm going to use my waders to cross the creek and go down to Emigrant Lake and check that out. If it's frozen, I'm just going to hightail it out of here. It's probably going to take me 2 days to get out. I've been giving a lot of consideration to the predicament that is the chute before sheep camp, and I'm going to want to hit that sort of mid-afternoon. So, and it took me, geez, I started out at 8 yesterday, so it took me 16 hours to get in here. So if I can get halfway, well, halfway sheep camp, I'll go down to Immigrant, fish a little bit if I can, and then hightail it out of here, and then wherever I am at about 5 o'clock, that's where I'll make camp. Then, you know, the next day I'll get up and plan to hit sheep camp around 1 o'clock, presuming that the weather holds out. I don't know, it's a little, I don't know, you can see what's going on behind me. It was kind of like that yesterday, but not over here. It was more over Kennedy Meadows, and it dissipated. We had a red sky last night, so that sort of tells me that it should be okay, but it did snow a little bit last night. Just a few sprinklings, nothing major. Emigrant Lake. Looks like there's some open water, so I'm gonna start fishing. Here's my favorite camping spot, and it looks like there's a little space right there for me to pitch a tent. I'm not quite sure whether I'm gonna stay or not. See, you know, if I see fish, then I'll probably stay and then pack up tomorrow morning. I figure it's gonna take me 6 hours to get over that pass. Well, I'm not seeing any fish out here in the flats. Still not seeing any fish. What's interesting is that the meadow is a lot fuller than I expected. Now, you know, I fished this lake plenty, and I know when you come here early in the season, you know, there's at least 1 or 2 little marshy lakes that you can fish. They're typically, you know, 3 feet deep, lots of reeds in them, but the fish will hang out there. But looking at all that overhang, I'm just not sure how safe it is to fish this. I mean, I've got my waders, but even right off the bank, it's deep. So I fished Emigrant Lake for about an hour. Didn't see any fish. Well, I saw a small fish hiding underneath one of the ice overhangs, but nothing of any size, nothing in the usual spots. So, you know, maybe just a week or two too early. That said, it was really cool coming out here and seeing my old campsite. I've been camping here for, geez, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 years. So it's always fun to come out here, even if it is just for a day. I think I'm gonna head back to Lunch Meadow. With any luck, it won't take me any longer than 6 hours to get back to Lunch Meadow. I can't believe I'm saying that. So if I hit Lunch Meadow tonight, that'll allow me to take my time getting to sheep camp, let the snow soften, and then try to get down that chute. I don't quite know how I'm going to do it yet. You know, when I was coming up, I was thinking, oh, well, you could just glissade down. But glissading is always really sketchy, and I'm not very good at it. But that's better than falling, right? You know, going down with the snowshoes, you kind of have to put forward pressure, which is, you know, is not something that you naturally want to do, falling into the hill. So, so we'll see. You know, with any luck, by the time I get there, enough of the trail will have melted that I can just take the trail. But, you know, I don't think that's a realistic scenario. You know, I kind of get it in my head. You know, I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Edge. Anthony Hopkins' character has this mantra: what one man can do, another can do. And I knew that several people had been up there and back. So, so I figured, yeah, why not me? So I've decided to cut my losses. You know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to trek into Twin Lakes. I mean, as long as it took me to get over the pass last night. So I'm going to head back to Lunch Meadow. Hope it doesn't take more than 6 hours to do that. And then the next day, sheep camp. And then that might give me an extra day to go fish Hot Creek before I head down to the Golden Trout Wilderness. So I crossed the creek again, just below where I crossed this morning. That's where I crossed this morning, the top of that cascade. And now it's straight that way for 4 hours. So it took me about 6 hours to get to Lunch Meadow from Emigrant. That's where I'm spending my second night. I found a nice little campsite. I saw this on the way up, and so I said, hey, if I need to come back here, this is the site I'm going to take. Most of the other sites, as you can see, are snowbound, which isn't necessarily an issue, but there's not a flat site in the lot, and that sort of is an issue for me. So I'm a little exposed. We'll see if that causes problems.